In the leadoff this week, I wanted to talk about something that I know is very near and dear to the Detroit Tigers fans' hearts, and that's the trade that we made before the season for Austin Meadows, giving up Isaac Paredes. And we look back on that trade now and we say, man, another mistake by Al Avila. But I want to tap the brakes on that. And the reason why I want to tap the brakes on that is too often we sit back and analyze moves post when they happened, as opposed to looking at them in the moment for the decision that was made and saying, you know what, that was a good deal. Because at the onset of this deal, this was a good deal at the beginning of the season. A deal that was precipitated by the fact that Reilly Green, who's been phenomenal, was not able to start the season with the Tigers because of his fractured foot. So we had a hole in the outfield. So they make a trade with a player who, when he has been up in Detroit, had not really played fantastic, hadn't really forced his way into the lineup, but was younger. He's only 23 years old. They take that player who's blocked by Jeimer Candelario, also blocked by Jonathan Scope at second base, and they flip him for an outfielder who had produced. He had 37 home runs, I believe, in 2019. He had 27 home runs a year ago. Just a good offensive left-handed bat that played a pretty good defense in the outfield, a hole that we had. And on the surface level, that was a really good deal. But now we get a continuous barrage of people that look back and go, man, can't believe they messed up that one again. Can't believe they let Isaac Paredes go. But the question that I want to ask and the question that I want to talk about is, with what Isaac Paredes has done, 13 home runs in the first half, 157 weighted runs created, which is 57% above Major League average. One, is that sustainable? We've seen this before in Detroit. Brennan Bosch comes to mind. Chris Shelton comes to mind. Of guys who have phenomenal first halves, but then the league adjusts to them and they struggle in the second half. It's possible. It's possible that they struggle, that Paredes will struggle. But the other question that I want to look at and I want to think about is, did Tampa Bay unlock something that the Detroit Tigers could not unlock in Isaac Paredes? AJ Hinch was asked this question. He said, I don't know. There was an article written by Detroit Sports Nation about the disturbing nature of that answer, that he doesn't know if Tampa Bay was able to unlock something that the Tigers couldn't see. And that doesn't fall on AJ Hinch. Tampa has been renowned for the way that they have developed players and flipped farm systems for contending players. But my big theory is that Isaac Paredes should probably still be a Tiger because he just did not get enough run in Detroit. When this deal was made back in 2017, I believe it was, when they traded Alex Avila and Justin Wilson for Jeimer Candelario and Isaac, Paredes was actually the better of the prospects, the one with more upside, the higher ceiling. He's still only 23 years old. He still is coming into his own as a Major League Baseball player. Now, his profile, he profiles as a less than athletic player, which really hurts his ceiling, but he definitely has the tools and the skills to be a very good Major League player. And I think that Detroit may have given up on him too early. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say it was a bad deal, because on the surface, this was a deal that needed to be done. But a few weeks ago, I talked about, what if Reilly Green had been up from the beginning of the season? Would this season look a lot different? And I think that we could absolutely say yes, that it would. Because one, this deal's not made. Two, if Candelario and Scope are struggling, you have Paredes who you could throw in there to make some waves maybe for the Tigers. So I don't know if it's necessarily a fact of Tampa Bay being able to just have this magic potion that unlocks so much of what these players are, but maybe there just wasn't enough run given to Isaac Paredes. At the end of the day, he's got to continue to do what he's done for the Rays for this to mean anything. If he does not have a second half like he had a first half, then maybe it is a Brennan Boss situation. Austin Meadows, we know, has struggled, and that's made the deal look even worse. 0 home runs in the first half, multiple times on the IL and time away with vertigo and on the COVID list, and now Achilles strains. So it's made the deal look worse. But from a baseball perspective, we can't look at this and say, oh, this is a failed deal. We have to look at it and say this was a necessary deal to fill a hole that was in the outfield, because we didn't know at the time if Willie Castro could play the outfield. Akil Baddoo is not a great defensive player. He can be flashy, but he's not a great defensive player, which really only left us with Grossman and Derek Hill at the time. So making this deal for Austin Meadows was a necessary baseball move. And you don't have to like it. You can look at it and regret it. Sure, I understand that. But at the end of the day, it was a deal that needed to get done. And that's the leadoff for today.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?